Okay, welcome back, everyone. We have some changes in the vintage cube, so I thought I wanted to give it a whirl this morning. Yeah, pretty nice time walk. Top one, top two card in the cube. Not much to say about that. Let's look at the rest of the pack. Orcish Bowmasters is an insane card. You'll play it in any deck with black mana. You'll even, make work to splash it. It combos with draw sevens. It can catch your opponent off guard, ping their board. It's just like a hate bear and a removal spell. It's very, very strong for quite obvious reasons. Other than that, we have Fetch Land that I love a lot. Same with Oliphant for some of the same reasons, and it also comes with reanimation spells. Teferi is always a solid card. I don't want to pick it that early, though. Hex Drinker is awesome. That's another card that I'll play in any green deck, and I'll also splash it sometimes. Remand always super solid. So yeah, in general, great pack. I don't expect to wheel much. Maybe something like the red-green land or something. Maybe the Akal Hakal something. Okay, next pack. What do we have? I love Ignoble Hierarch. Those who have seen me draft Cube before definitely knows that. Subtlety is solid. Taiga is solid, but it's a bit yeah, it's very speculative to pick a duel that isn't blue at this point. Like it is viable for sure. Wasteland, always cool. Okay, this is an interesting pack. So had this been a Noble Hierarch, the pick would be very, very easy. But it's Ignoble Hierarch, so the pick is kind of hard. I think I'm gonna take Ignoble over Subtlety. I like Subtlety, don't get me wrong, but this might be a good place to take the Ram creature. Also, Pirate Confluence is very awesome. Okay. I'll try with the Ignoble and see where that takes me. Ooh, this is third pick Academy with Mox Opal in the pack for the wheel. That might be too tempting to pass up. What else am I looking at? It's basically Tolarian Academy or Fetchland. Okay. Okay, you got me. I'll draft Academy here and see what happens. Okay, so nothing here that helps the Academy that's responsible to pick, but the best duel I could find is Tropical Island. In case the artifact plan doesn't get there, Tropical Island lets me be base green and splash the Time Walk. So let's take that. We're passing on, I don't know, Gaia's Cradle. Okay. Next pack here. There's a solid card like Serum Visions, and then there's a card that helps the Academy in Talisman in my two colors. It's probably the Artifact. If I can get Academy to work, it's awesome. And this Talisman being blue-green makes the decision for me. In case I want it to be like, I don't know, green-black, green-red, splash Time Walk, I could go for something else, but I think this is a reasonable pick. Let's go get the Talisman. Okay, so it's tough to get together cheap artifacts, it looks like. I could just take Generous End. It's like a second Tropical Island, which is never bad. There's a lot of bad cards in this pack in general. The Jundland would be decent for future shenanigans, but having the second Trop here is also cool. So I actually like Hard Evidence quite a bit, especially in Academy decks, obviously. Putting an artifact into play for 1 mana is pretty cool. Also, the blocker can come in handy against various decks. I'm not the biggest Crucible of Worlds. Like, I want to start with Strip Mine. So let's try and take that. Okay, I mean, Kinnan is good with mana rocks, and I'm kind of trying to be blue-green artifacts, so I should probably take this Kinnan over Nissa. Best card in the pack is probably something like Bitter Triumph, then Adeline, but I'm not really in that position, and we're not looking to be a good Dig Through Time deck either. Okay, so I did wield the Akal. Terrible name. I need to find a nickname for this. Maybe just go AP, like my own, what do you call it? My first letter of my first name and last name. Yeah, there's also this land, but I think let's just take the artifact payoffs out of the packs and go from there. What do we have here? We have another card that casts my spells, so that's fine. I'll take Fixing over Utility Land. And Mox Opal came back around. Okay, so this tells me a few things. I picked Academy out of this pack and I wheeled Mox Opal. That means nobody else has the same idea right now, which is very good. And the packs have just been, kind of bad. Ooh, this Cradle might be good. Let's see. I can take this Hydra. If we can make a lot of mana, this could be cool. Also, I mean, if I make this like a semi-sized one and it dies, all of a sudden, it's good with Academy. I guess it is good with Academy in both cases. And then the Mere Battlesphere is kind of my curve topper. So I'm looking to pick up cheap artifacts. Yeah, I mean, that's just the name of the game here. We need enough 0 and 1 mana artifacts to make that Academy good. Ooh, a card like Oko is awesome here. So I was about to mention Tireless Tracker and From Host Sea Shark as some of my favorite, solid cards that help Academy out of blue-green, but Oko is definitely one of them. I remember playing the modern deck with 4 Okos, 4 Urza, 4 Mox Opal, and yeah, that deck was disgusting. So the food tokens being artifacts, very, very strong for both Metalcraft and just artifact count in general. So let's take Oko out of a pack where Strip Mine is probably the only card worth mentioning, even though this pack is kind of solid overall. Wow, speaking of solid. Okay, so we have a lot of good cards here. We have Archon, we can't take that. We have Demonic Tutor, also too much of a stretch. We have Minsc and Boo that I'm gonna think about for sure, because I already have Ignoble Hierarch, so I'm probably supposed to take that card. Yeah. And then I was gonna mention Isika's Chariot. That card is an artifact and would be very, very solid in the deck. The question is if Minsc and Boo is enough better that I want to uh, prioritize fixing for it later, or just take the Chariot and move on. I think Minsc and Boo is okay, but it's actually close because I have to work a little bit for it later with red mana sources. What do we have here? This is actually quite a bad pack for me. Me being blue-green artifacts. I might take the Shadow Spear. It's a 1-mana artifact. It can help in some races, so yeah, that's fine. I'm not the biggest coveted jewel player, especially when I don't have enough cheap artifacts to begin with. So here I immediately see Candelabra, but I actually think that card could wheel on a good day, so I might take Grim Monolith. Grim Monolith is good with Hydra, it's good with Battlesphere. So pretty easy Monolith here over Candelabra. I have to read this card. 4 mana, 5/3. Hexproof as long as you haven't cast a spell this turn. Okay, that's a cool card. Just a solid, just a solid beater. It takes a lot for these beaters to be viable these days. Let's see if we can wheel that. Ooh, wheel that Candelabra, I was about to say. So now we can choose between Karn, Synthesizer, and Kappa Cannoneer. It looks like it's not going to be Synthesizer. That's going to take too much. Um, Maybe it's just Karn. It's a bit sad because I really like Kappa Cannoneer. But right now, I just don't have enough cheap artifacts. And the question is if I'll get there. The thing is, it's good with stuff like Shadow Spear. It's good with the Clue. It's good with Blood Token, stuff like that. But Karn is maybe just too good. And like Karn is actually good with Mana Ramp, which Kappa Cannoneer, really isn't. Here we have Tameo. I love Tameo with Time Walk. But is there a cheap artifact we would rather have? Manifold Key is good with Grim Monolith, but that's about it. Umasao's Jite is solid. But let's take Tameo. Digging for Time Walk and or regrowthing Time Walk is pretty darn strong. Here I can take the Salvager or the Relic. What's most important? Maybe the Relic because it adds red mana. And it's good with Kinnan. But this Salvager making an artifact golem is not nothing. Okay, very late Solitude, but I think I'm going to take the Haywire Might. It's a cheap artifact, and the effect is actually useful. Utopia Sprawl coming back. Let's see what this is. Have a none land. Okay, so Kinnan doesn't work with Utopia Sprawl, but I think that's acceptable. Utopia Sprawl is still a cheap accelerant that helps me cast my game plan. The Chariot even came back around, so did Mystic Forge, but I think it's better to just have the creature straight up. This pack was bad. I'm gonna hate pick Parallax Wave. It's not the most important thing when you're not playing against your actual opponents. Here's Balance, so let's just pretend it's a pod. I'll hate Balance. And now I think, yeah, I think this coming pack, or maybe it was the previous one. Maybe I can't wheel whatever I was trying to wheel. Okay, we could. Yeah, let's take the Cannoneer. So status is we're doing very well on Haymakers, and I need cheap stuff to power it out, make Academy viable, all of that jazz, because I have plenty of stuff to do up the curve. Even GT is not terrible. In a perfect world, I don't play it. I think in like the perfect version of this deck, but it's very, very solid. It's a cheap artifact, and it's a mana rock for Cannoneer, etc., etc. Okay, I mean, we're getting, oh boy. The artifact sub theme is open, but the packs are just not the best. Nice Black Lotus. Let's add that to the fold. So now I have Black Lotus, Time Walk, Academy. I'm trying to work my way up the ranks here, so Academy and Mox Opal are, broken. Wow, nice Black Lotus. Can I wheel anything here? Actually, this pack is extremely mediocre aside from the Lotus. It's like Reprieve, Watergrave, Snapcaster Mage, and then it really dries out. Okay, let's take Black Lotus. No cheap artifacts. That's kind of sad. Maybe I just update my mana base. I think I'm doing well on playables, so updating your mana base out of weak packs, I think it's better than taking 4-drop number 6 in Questing Beast. Okay, so yeah, having good mana is definitely high priority. Noble is very, very strong here. I can't pass that Noble, so what else are we working with here? Something like Steam Vents would help my mana situation. Something like Probe always helps. Lorn Reveal always solid. Maybe I can wheel the Caryatid in a perfect world. Wow, the best card in the pack. Okay, let's take this Noble. Here's Birds. Yeah, I think I have to take Birds. I'm kind of not getting the cheap artifacts I would want, but Noble and Birds are absolute best accelerants for multicolor green, so can't really be sad about that. Sentinel is awesome here, but I have enough Reason Force that I want to focus on the early game. Now what? We have Lotus Cobra, which is very medium accelerant. We have Sail into the West. Sail into the West. Is that even good in this deck? Can also take something like Everflowing Chalice to try and... yeah, I guess I'll just do that and then worry about how to actually build the deck later. Ooh, Breeding Pool even. I can get perfect mana here. And it's only competing with a Mind Stone, so I guess I do that. There's Halfling. Yeah, wow. It's very possible that this artifact is just supposed to be a sub-theme, like with the way this draft is going. Let's see. Halfling. Power out those cards. I love Bristly Bill. I think that's a decent card. There's also Eternal Witness for extra Time Walk. Eternal Witness for extra Time Walk, or a Halfling for more busted starts. Maybe I can take Eternal Witness here. I'm actually not sure about this. So here's Mystical Tutor. So with that card, I can tutor up only Time Walk and Hard Evidence. And then once I have it, I can... I don't know if that's worth it. But maybe the other cards are just bad, so I should take it. It's mainly because I think I'm gonna have too much stuff going on in this deck. And I'm gonna anyway gonna make a ton of cuts. Yeah, these cards aren't the best. Triplicate Titan too late. Questing Beast. I mean, it's worse than all the other cards, I think. Maybe it's better than Hydra. And I do wheel the Caryatid. Wow. So now I feel good about not taking the halfling. I also wield the sentinel. Okay, this is gonna be a mess when I'm building this deck. Maybe I sideboard Force of Vigor, take the Primus, take the Marsh. Okay, I think this is gonna be quite the mess. I think the first thing I'm gonna do is try and cut the artifact package, which is kind of sad. But okay, let's first see how it looks if I cut the artifact package. It's minus Opal, it's minus Chalice. Haywire Might is not detrimental at all to the strategy. Shadow Spear's out. I guess Karn is out in that case. Art Evidence is out. Mystical Tutor is a maybe. Hydra is like semi-good. I think this Talisman is not that great. You can still play Monolith. DJ is good. Kinnan is good because of 3 mana creatures, or at least decent, and I also have Cradle, so I'm incentivized to have, a lot of creatures. Yeah, I actually feel like this is the way you should build the deck. Is Kappa Cannoneer even good in this deck? I don't think it is. But then I also have this card. Yeah, I mean, how does the deck look like if I have to cut all of this? That's the main question. So let's see. Right now, I have 11 slots in the deck. So I should play something like this card because of its utility in general, and Cradle. And how does it look now? If I just add lands now, I end up at 16 lands, one of them being a Cradle. And I have a Cycler, and I have a Lotus, and I have Ramp. So I should probably play like one more card. Maybe it's like the Spear. Spear seems decent on some of my chunky stuff. And then I just add lands, put the Tolarian Academy package in the sideboard. Ugh. I'm not convinced this is correct, but this looks like a great deck. These cards are also kind of cool, but is it enough? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I don't think I have Metalcraft consistently, or like 2+ artifacts in play and enough payoff. Could be wrong. Please let me know here. It's a very difficult draft to maneuver, I would say. So let's see here. How many green do we have already? We have 1, 2. I'm not going to count Cradle. 3, 4, 5. So I go to 12. How about 11? And what about blue? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't have that much blue. What if I do like this? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's plenty of blue at least. Maybe in that case I go like this. So how many sources do I have from Minsc and Boo? That's the next thing. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 from Minsc and Boo, which is not horrible at all, but I actually think this deck can take a mountain. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I'll actually go for a single mountain here and call it a day. Ooh, okay. I mean, this deck looks awesome, but I have almost an Academy package in my sideboard. I don't know about this. I'll try and submit and see where that takes me. Welcome to round 1. I'm playing Simic Ramp and not Simic Artifacts. So, yeah, I don't know about that decision. Our opening hand can curve some decent stuff, so pretty easy keep. I play Forest turn 1 to play around the random Wasteland coming out of the opponent. There's no reason to get Wastelanded before I've already played out my Caryatid, and at which point it's probably a bad idea for the opponent, but who knows? It's just some small stuff, like if you get lazy and always play the Botanical Sanctum here, You'll get punished every once in a while. It's mainly about getting good habits, even though it's like a 1-of out of the cube. I have to dodge Stern Scolding here. And now I will most likely try and get the Sentinel going. If I draw land, I will consider the Chariot, that's for sure. Lauren revealed for Watery Grave. Solid play in all formats where it's legal. Let's see what the opponent can do here. Mainly, I'm looking to try and slip under the opponent here and get some kind of... Okay. Wow. Fatal push on the Might. That's really not impressive. Okay, and here comes the Mox. Okay, that's cool. I love it. That's a very good card to Phantasmal Image. Can't touch it. And here's a bird. Yeah. So missing my land drop there is not the best. Needless to say, if I draw land there, I can play a Chariot and really turn up the heat on the opponent. But Sentinel is fine. At this point, I basically paid 2 mana to make my land drop, which is quite bad. And the opponent's out-ramping me here easily. Let's see. 2 black. 3 mana. Yeah, that card is very strong. So I draw an Exalted creature, which is very strong. So I can go try and find the land. Ooh! Excuse me. Wow. What a draw. Chaos Cradle. So now I can go 1-drop, 1-drop. Wow, this is scene. Okay. What a draw. So let's play Cradle. Let's play Birds. Let's play Isika's Chariot. And I can now attack for 4 damage. Exalted here if the opponent trades. You got it. They don't trade, they take 4. Wow. So now the opponent basically needs to have something way over the top or a sweeper. What a draw, Chaos Cradle. So it's like I was accelerating out the gates, then I missed my land drop, and things were looking grim. And then I just exploded anyway. This is obviously way too much stuff on the table for turn 4 standards. The opponent keeps a card on top with Sewers. I'm scared here. Okay, so I will crew in response. So my opponent gets a tapped Sentinel. That's better than them having an untapped Sentinel. They do get to untap 4 lands, though, so the opponent has 6 mana available. And they kept a card on top. I think what I'm supposed to do is take the damage from the Preacher if the opponent attacks. The opponent does not attack, okay. So let's see what I can draw here. Monolith doesn't help me. What I could do is Cameo, try and find the Time Walk. Let's just pull up my list here real quick. Time Walk would be awesome. I think that's worth digging for. Time Walk would more or less seal the deal. I think the opponent leaving back Preacher means they want to block. But I think if I crew right away to get more mana out of my Cradle, I think that's the way to play, but could be wrong there. Let's see. I'm probably supposed to play this card out first. Let's see, how do we do this the best? Probably like this. So I go monolith, mana, the Sandstorm Salvager. And then the question becomes, should I map onto something? For the mana, I have floating to kind of know about the top card. I guess I'll do that. Because then I can kind of clear one card if it's a spell and it's not a time walk. It was a trop. So let's go Tameo. I just realized mid kind of semi-combo here that I can Tameo back the Haywire Might to get back the Sentinel. Is that better? Is that just better? I guess I'll try that. I should have thought about this before, but I can untap the Monolith with floating mana, etc. Play Might. Kill Treasury. Play land, untap Monolith, I think is my play. And then I can attack, make a Golem. Okay, so I put a lot of stuff in play. Let's see. Let's see how the opponent responds here. The Relic showing its ugly face here. Draw 2, discard 1. Pierce hits the bin. The opponent trades off the Chariot. So in a perfect world, I realize that I have the Haywire Might in the graveyard, and I don't do all of this like shenanigans with Tameo, and then maybe, just maybe, I just return the Chariot after this, and it's going to work out better. Okay, the opponent needs a very good card on top of the deck here. Something like Toxic Deluge would be awesome. The opponent actually has a decent life total here. Yeah, I didn't play that game particularly well. I just had insane tools. Once I found the Cradle, it's like I was playing with house money, which is never a good thing because I can... Yeah, that was just not... I should have considered my options way more. So let's see, blue-black. So I like Planeswalkers against blue-black. The question is, do I like Karn? The problem is, it's a card like Shadow Spear that's kind of bad. So what happens if I cut Shadow Spear? Would I just play Garruk as a random Planeswalker? Yes. Let's just make that swap. Uh, yeah, let's run it. Gaius Cradle. It's been a while since I've had an absurd Gaius Cradle, but here it was just crazy, crazy, crazy. Here we see a little bit of flexibility from Time Walk. Time Walk being basically a ramp spell here, letting me go 3-drop on 2. And there's the Gaius Cradle that will be a 2-mana land once the dust settles. So let's see. I will go Time Walk, then I'll try and go Salvagers. No Spell Pierce. We did see Spell Pierce last game, so the opponent could have pierced me there. We'll play Drop, Salvager. I don't get countered, so that means my Gaius Cradle is kind of on here. No play from the opponent, no removal spell either. Okay, let's see. Here's the slow rolled Mox, because they saw Haywire Might the other game. They slow roll Mox. And there's Urza. Okay. Urza's a good one. So now let's see. I think I can go Cannon, Cradle, Jite, Equip. Sentinel was a good draw, though. Yep. Let's go Cannon. Cradle, Jite, Whip. And then my opponent's going to take the damage, and I'm going to kill the construct token because it represents mana. So yeah, Jite, pretty good card to get online here. Even just, it's funny, like a card like Jite, when it came out, it was broken. And then it was kind of obsolete for some time. But it's still just very solid in Vintage Cube because the way the pendulum sometimes swings. Right now, Vintage Cube is pretty creature-centric. Like Baleful Strix, Malcolm, Fair Mastermind, stuff like that. So yeah, I quite like that. Okay. Here's a cool one. Treasury on Kinnan. The opponent can not untap the Mox though, which is good for me right now. And it's just a 2/2, so GT connection means I can kill it, which is still like it's a good exchange for the opponent, but it's not the end of the world here for me. Coalition Relic. So I think I'm supposed, even though it's never feels like awesome, I think I'm supposed to go Hydra here and just transcend it. Tap out for Hydra. Attack. I'm not going to send the Sandstorm Salvager into battle here. Okay. So I have to consider things here. Urza. Is that card good right now, or is it better to cut off opposing mana? If I put the Urza first here, I only have to spend one GT counter. That's not nothing either. But I'll have 2 GT counters left if I do like this. I'll actually try this. And let my opponent spin Urza. I don't know. Could be a mistake. Opponent takes 5. I have 2 GT counters. Pass. Never got to activate the Salvager. I think that's okay. I've had stuff to do all game. Now let's see what the opponent has to do. Kaito. Generally not the best card when you're on the back foot against a Trampler. But yeah, the opponent could dump something stupid into the yard and do good things. Yeah, this is kind of the slow. I guess the opponent could have Fatal Push now, which would kill the Hydra, so I have to think about that. That guy faces out, so attacking Planeswalker is not an option. Yeah, the opponent's seen enough here. Yeah, I just had too much, like, I applied too much pressure to the board here. My draw wasn't insane this game. My draw was insane the other game. And if you just have a medium blue-black deck, you just can't keep up with, like, hasty damage. Even Jite was awesome this game. Even though, like, on paper, just historically, Jite against blue-black control, not the best card in the world. But just look at this, like, Urza making a 2/2, Kaito can make 1/1s. The card is just solid. So, all right. Great start here with my strange Simic deck. I can't stop looking at this sideboard. Horn, Academy, Opal, Cannoneer, AP. I guess we move on. I'll see you guys for the next match. Okay, round 2. I'm looking at this hand. This hand's first play is turn 3 Salvagers. It has an uncastable and uncastable and a 4-drop that doesn't, like, will easily get killed if I'm not on the board. I'm actually going to mulligan this. Mulligan into what I think is a better hand, mainly because it plays well off the top of the deck. Maybe I bought him Eternal Witness. Is that crazy? Yeah, it probably is crazy. I can bottom Island here. I don't think that's the end of the world. Or just Generous End, I guess. Yeah, let's just put Generous End back. The thing about Generous End is, if I don't need the fixing, there's no reason to expose myself to reanimation cards. I guess I'm keeping this Haywire Might out of speculation, but I think it's better than just another land. Landmark's Talisman. That could have been me. Istika's Chariot. Very good draw. So now I can go turn 1 Birds, turn 2 Haywire Might as kind of land destruction, and then Istika's Chariot. That's a decent plan. Also, this Witness is, I mean, if we get into some, counterspell your Istika's Chariot game, or I draw Time Walk, it's going to be insane. Raven is all goody. Yeah, this is actually a funny play pattern, like cracking your clue right away, but I think that's a good way to play these days. Because of all the anti-draw running around. So let's play Haywire. Let's play Noble. And then I'll kill the Talisman because it looks like the opponent can use this blue mana more than this black mana. And then there's some super niche stuff like this Mox is better if the opponent starts, I don't know, Teferiing their own Mox or whatever. Ooh, Strip Mine here. So thankfully Strip Mine doesn't hurt my ability to cast Istika's Chariot next turn because I drew the Noble. And as I almost finished that sentence, here's Portable Hole, and now I can cast Eternal Witness. So very, very heads-up play by the opponent going after the forest. Here's Mystical Tutor, funnily enough. Doesn't do anything right now. Mystical Tutor Time Walk, yeah, that just doesn't do anything right now. Ooh, the opponent really managed to do it to me there. The Strip Mine and the kill the mana creature. So I'm stuck here with a card because of the mana value and a card because of the color requirements. Very, very bad for me. At least the opponent's not, like, destroying me in the meantime. It just smells a lot of a counter, though, because if the opponent doesn't play to the board, then what is their hand, really? But I can't. It doesn't make any sense to slow roll here. I just play my stuff. Chariot resolves. That's huge for me. Wonder if the opponent then has a Wrath? Emperor. Oh, is my opponent going to kill the birds? No, they're going to make it 2-2. Okay. Thought they were going to kill the birds. Actually, now Time Walk is good. If I get the turn and I get to, you know, if I get to attack twice with Chariot, that would be awesome. Yeah. I hear you, buddy. So the opponent attacks there. Blood removal, plow, or path here, I would guess. Dismember. Path? Okay, that's the best for me. But that Samurai token has Vigilance, so the Time Walk plan is pretty bad right now. Huh. Yeah, I'll just look at the deck here. I don't think I have any other stuff to tutor. Maybe that makes the Mystical Tutor not playable. That I only have one target. So now I can witness back Haywire Might. Not unexciting. Because what's the upside? I can kill a Portable Hole, get back to Noble. I feel like I should draw Haymaker. That's the way to win this game. What would the point of the witness be? Something like getting enough bodies on the table that I can double attack Emperor, something along those lines, but it's really not good. Like if I double attack the Emperor now, I lose a token, Emperor goes to 1. Yeah, it's horrible. But I have stuff like Minsc and Boo, I have stuff like Mere Battlesphere. Like I have good cards in my deck. I guess I can't cast Mere Battlesphere right now. Okay, my opponent's draw for the turn was certainly Lauren revealed. What's the last card? Can't beat much. Opponent makes that into a 4/4. I guess that's better for me. Maybe not. Love to draw an answer for the token. I'm not sure I have one. Okay, so now I can go Mystical. Mystical Time Walk. Witness Time Walk. And attack the Emperor with 2 creatures. And then 2 creatures. Maybe that's bad. Attack the maybe not attack and go like Time Walk, Eternal Witness on the same turn. The next turn, I attack it with 3 creatures. Okay, so I can now get rid of the Emperor. I think that's what I'm supposed to do. Lose a couple of creatures and then have to beat the Samurai, basically. Walk. Witness. Ooh. Uh-huh. Yeah, that countered my whole plan. Now it's Haymaker time. Questing Beast. Okay, okay, okay. Very, very strong draw. So now my opponent must... Yeah, my opponent will lose the Emperor here and eat a cat. Okay, that was decent for me. Opponent's on 0 cards. Oh, right, and then they can chump block. Okay, they don't chump block the cat. That's surprising. So now I have to dodge something sick off the top of my opponent's deck. And it's basically a race to who draws the first impactful card here. I guess that was my opponent. Oof, that's the dream. Drain a 3-drop. Tap out for Portal. Very, very good. What do we have here? The opponent can now reanimate Questing Beast. Yeah, that's horrible for me. Guess I have a 4/4 here. Wow. Drain into Portal was maybe the absolute worst thing that could happen in that spot. So now the opponent can either... Yeah, Questing Beast's a good shout because they're ahead on... and then just keep doing it. Yeah, this is over. Because they have, like, Witness into Mana Drain next turn. I don't know. I'll try and take the damage, but I really don't know why. I can't think of a plan here. Shadow Spear is a plan, except my opponent blocks. My creature's dead. They get that card back. Yeah. Okay. Oof, brutal. But it was a great game up until that point. Like, a lot of small, like, how to beat that Emperor. Also, that was a cool one. Okay, I'm not sure about the Mystical for Time Walk. I want to cut that card. I guess I saw, like, Mox. I saw Portable Hole. I saw Portal, so most likely they're a Tinker deck with more cheap artifacts. So let's try the Force of Vigor. I think that's a new edition as well. Maybe it's been here before, but it's also a new edition where it's main deckable in a pinch, and it kind of crushes one of the best strategies out of the sideboard. I think that's like the new philosophy, like incidental reanimation hate, incidental artifact hate, stuff like that. All right, down a game here. Down a game. Drain into Portal. My deck doesn't have quite, that stuff to do, but it has some good stuff. Okay. Cool start. No red mana, though. there's definitely a case to be made for waiting with the walk and developing Grim Monolith. I'll actually try that. Mainly because if I can play, like, the dream is drawing a red source, but it's not super realistic. I think I only have like 2. I have a Mountain and a Utopia Sprawl that does it right now. Cameo. So now I can go Time Walk, Cameo, back the Time Walk, which will get me some looks. I guess I have to tap. Yeah. So maybe I go like this. Time Walk. Cameo. Vanitize. Yeah, my Time Walk plays once the opponent counters the let's call it the like the payoff. That stuff has looked very, very embarrassing. Yeah, yeah. I think I have to sacrifice this land. It's like very bad. Okay. Yeah, that was like my one trick this game. If I get Tameo into play, get Time Walk back, untap, then I cast Time Walk, then I can start looking for stuff with Tameo, and I have another walk in the bank. But the opponent just laughed at that plan basically. So okay, the opponent with no play, but they have Mana Drain in their deck, so I'm not really too exciting about this situation. I guess let's not get Snapcaster Mana Tithe. So what I was thinking with the way the opponent played was they remembered that Haywire Might would answer Portal, and now they go Artifact Tinker. Ooh, okay, that's not the case. Baraka's very good against Questing Beast, unfortunately. I guess the technically correct play is to play Noble and attack with Haywire Might alone, which is kind of funny. If I attack with Beast, I force my opponent to tap the Caracas, and now I don't. Okay. Opponent trades off the Haywire Might. I think I have an idea what that means. So that was another reason to attack with Beast, because I'm forcing the issue on Caracas. And if my opponent has Tinker Portal, I mean, getting in for 4 more damage, or the opponent bouncing so it doesn't die to Portal would be better for me. Yeah, maybe I outsmarted myself there. I didn't get punished this time, though. Here's Teferi. So, yeah, sure. The opponent now has a instant speed sorcerer in the bank. Caracas has Questing Beast covered. That's what nightmares are made of. It even has Minsc and Boo covered. Caracas is actually a nightmare for this particular draw. Okay, the Salvager is a better draw than Beast, or better play than Beast. No, I think it's fine. I play it if the opponent counters. I can play the Beast, but now I don't think it makes any sense. Let's just attack the Teferi. The opponent can bounce the token and keep Teferi in play, which is kind of annoying. This just has written all over it that I'm losing slowly but surely this game. the way this is progressing for the opponent is, I would say, according to their plan. I got smoked here by Manatithe and Caracas. That just totally shut down my game plan. So the Golem hits the bin, carries at 1. The opponent has 6 mana to work with. Cryptic Coat. I suspect my opponent wants to trade off the Salvagers for that card and just bounce it, keep going. And I can't even stress my opponent's mana here. Kinnan, another legend. It's so sad. But I will activate Kinnan here. 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's see if we can hit something. Generous End Sentinel. All good cards. Maybe Sentinel is better because it kind of gets me going here a little bit. Map. Maybe just attack with Salvagers. Get the trade in. Yeah, this is definitely not ideal. The opponent's kind of grinding me down here. Let's map onto the Sentinel. Oh, it taps for 2, I forgot. Force of Vigor. I'll put that into the graveyard. I don't think that's very good right now. Could be wrong. Very well could be wrong. Cryptic Code back to hand. And then back to hand. Oh, I'm playing Blue-Green Legends. I didn't realize that. This has Tinker written all over it, but I've been thinking that for quite some turns. Instant speed Tinker Portal is awesome. If the opponent pulls that off with Terry. Rip mine. Question is if the Cryptic Code will hit the board. Nope. Massage I mean, I don't have anything else to do, right? I guess I can untap this. Okay, maybe I just attack. So I get my map here, but I don't have high hopes. This is awesome. This is the dream. So the opponent theoretically should have done this beginning of combat. But yeah, awesome play. Tinker Portal. So the reason to wait is because if I play a haste creature on my first main phase, that also dies to Portal. So that's good. But just like slightly better timing there, and the opponent I wouldn't have gotten the map either. And how convenient, I milled over the Force of Vigor. Yeah, this is a beating. Let's see. I think I just untap this. Pass. Now the opponent can do what exactly? They can go reanimate Salvager for some power, Sentinel for some power, or Haywire might kill the Grim Monolith for disruption. They go for the Sentinel. Yeah, I love that card. It's like super solid. Teferi stays in play now, has another bounce in the tank. Here's the Cryptic Coat that the opponent slow rolled, so now I guess it's fairly obvious they also have a counterspell. Yeah, this is just a clinic. The opponent just crushed me in this game. Not much to do here. All right. Great games. Well played. Can't really take anything away from the opponent here. We just got severely destroyed. And that's how it is sometimes. Sometimes we destroy the opponent. Sometimes we get destroyed. But I like to give credit where credit is due. Let's see if we can take down the third one. The third one. Don't go anywhere. Okay, it's time for round 3. I'm on the play here with Simic Legends. And I have a good hand. I have a turn 1 Noble. And let's see where we go from there. So the way Kinnan works is I can play Kinnan and then my Noble taps for 2 mana. This might not be a hand that can take advantage of that, but who knows? The nightmare is that Noble gets killed for turn 1. Okay, that didn't happen. That's good for me. Okay, so what I could do is go Coalition Relic Charge. Is that good? Probably is. Kind of secures my mana. But so does the Kinnan line. Okay, I'll go Kinnan Shadow Spear here. Equip 2. I wonder how... I don't think I've ever used this 1 colon permanent your opponent's control lose hexproof and indestructible. But maybe I've missed something. Like maybe it's been... I'm wondering about that. Okay, Kinnan got killed. I think that's acceptable. So now I can go Hydra, start attacking, or Relic. I think it's better to Relic. And charge and attack. Urza Saga is an annoying card here, but most likely it will also lock up my opponent's mana while I attack with a bigger creature equipped with a Shadow Spear. Yeah, drawing all of this land is not really ideal, but see. Play Hydra out as a 6/6. So now the math goes that my opponent, if they make 2 guys and search for an artifact, they have 2 3/3s, which is pretty good math when it comes to Exalted plus Shadow Spear on the Hydra. But if they play an artifact from hand, they can get to 8/8 like I can. Okay, nice Skull Clamp. Nice tap land. Okay, so I get to put my opponent to 1 here. That's not bad. Terrible draw. Let's see if I can spike something super nasty off the Grove here. Whip. Attack for 8. The opponent goes to 1, but I don't have anything else. I do have cards like Minsc and Boo, Questing Beast, etc. in my deck, so I have, you know, if my opponent stabilizes against the Hydra, I still have stuff to do in my deck. Okay, we got lucky there. I feel like just full hand from the opponent. Urza Saga start, removal spell. Got pretty lucky that they couldn't follow up with anything that could handle the Trampler. I don't like this Mystical Tutor. Let's just add the Force of Vigor and see if it can do wonders against the Urza Saga. Okay. Okay. Black Lotus. I actually forgot I had that card. This is a good reminder. You can mulligan to 3 in Vintage Cube and have this hand. And win that game. So this is very all in. Just imagine I get like Duress, Inquisition or whatever. Mana Tithe. That's what nightmares are made of. Minsc and Boo. Attack for 4. And now the opponent has some stuff to do. Like, even if they kill the Minsc and Boo, this is an uphill battle against the 4/4. Fair enough, GG's. Okay, at least the opponent was a good sport about it. That was that wasn't much of games. That was just like a big beating. But that's what this deck can do sometimes. And I guess we didn't draw Black Lotus enough to expect to 3-0 here. Maybe I misbuilt my deck. Who knows? Tell me about the Academy package in the sideboard and why it was wrong. It was definitely too much for me to handle at the time when I had such a solid blue-green deck splash Minsc and Boo. But definitely let me know if you disagree with having those cards in the sideboard, or you think I made a good call. All right, that is going to do it for today's video. As always, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.